My name is Derek. I'm the Director of Military and Veterans Law here at Stone Rose Law, one of the largest VA benefits practices in the country and the largest in the Southwest United States. Today I want to talk to you about how to calculate your VA disability rating and why it's so important to know where you're at. Why is it important to understand where your disability rating is? Well, the VA will round up your rating to the nearest 10% or round down to the nearest 10%. So it's important to know where you're at to know what you need to get to that next highest level. One of the things we need to know about VA math is that it doesn't really work the way that we would normally expect math to work. For example, 50% plus 50% would normally equal 100, but under VA math, it actually comes out to 80%. Why does that happen? The VA presumes that you start 100% able-bodied. Then they rank your disabilities in order of severity from highest to lowest. The amounts of compensation are important for numerous reasons because at different tiers of disability, different benefits accrue. So before we go into how to use our VA disability benefits calculator, I'd like to talk about why the different levels of compensation are so important and what they can mean for you and your family. I break it down into sort of 3 or 4 categories. First category is those individuals with service-connected disabilities rated at 0%. While you may not be eligible for VA disability compensation, you are eligible for VA healthcare for all service-connected conditions free of charge and for a low copay non-service-connected conditions. From 10 to 20%, that's the next level. That is when you start becoming compensable and the VA will start paying you a monthly disability check based on the severity of your conditions. Additionally, at the 10 and 20% level, you become eligible for a VA funding fee refund if you've obtained a VA home loan. And you are eligible for a higher level of priority care at the VA as well. When we get to 30 to 40%, that is when we can start adding additional dependents to our award for additional compensation. That means that we can add our spouse, our children, and dependent parents who rely on us for support in order to obtain additional compensation for supporting those dependents. And from 50 to 100%, there's a whole host of benefits that come, but the biggest one is that at 50% or higher, you are now eligible for all of your health care through the VA at no cost to you, whether or not it's service connected. So as you can see, getting these different benefit levels is not only important for your pocketbook, but it's important for your health as well as benefits for your family. So in our example, we have 2 disabilities worth 50% each. The VA assumes you start out at 100% able-bodied, then they subtract that 50%. So now our veteran is at 50% able-bodied, 50% disabled. Then they apply that next highest rating, in this case, another 50%. They take that 50% of the amount of able-bodied percentage left, in this case 50, and they get an amount of 25. They add the 25% disability to the 50% disability already obtained, which comes out to 75, which then rounds up to 80. But let's say we have 2 disabilities rated at 40% and 1 rated at 30%. Well, your combined rating is not going to equal 70. Instead, using the combined rating tables and our VA calculator, you'll see that it will actually amount to 58%. That will then round up to the nearest 10, in this case 60%. You can also see how much you qualify for in disability compensation, because each disability increment level has a different compensation amount, and this amount can change annually. Generally, it tracks with the cost of living adjustment that Social Security beneficiaries receive. So in 2023, for example, the cost of living increase was 8.7%. That meant that all VA disability compensation was also increased by 8.7%. And in June of this year, the president did sign the bill that will track VA disability benefits increases alongside Social Security.
This cost of living increase will help give our veterans a little more peace of mind.
Well, we don't know what that exact amount's going to be. Estimates put it at approximately 3 to 4% for 2024. So as you can see, it's very important to calculate your exact disability percentage so that way you know how to get to the next highest rating. We encourage you to use our free VA disability benefits calculator. In our view, it's the most accurate and easiest to use out there today. And then if you don't like what you see or you got further questions, feel free to reach out. We are happy to offer free consultations and discuss whatever benefits you may be eligible for.